Hello, good day. Welcome to my channel, The Faceless Podcaster. Today I will be reviewing Season 5 of Greenleaf, Episode 1. You'll be giving a full recap as well as our opinions on the episode and the events that have unfolded. The first, in the first scene of the episode, we see that they have begun removing the the items from the church, such as the altar and all
The posters,
posters
banners.
and memorabilia of Bishop and his family. Bishop and Gigi exchange a dialogue where Bishop Bishop says to Gigi that it is important to witness something, the end of something, because it's important to see it with your own eyes so that you will know that it may not end up being possible to revive it. There's one thing that I find kind of strange about that whole scene, which is the fact that it kind of makes no sense that they will demolish the entire church just to build a cathedral. And something that doesn't make sense is why would the board vote for something like that? It's clearly a waste of money. What do you think?
I agree with you there on that one. I found it like quite strange that they decided to demolish the church. I thought that they were probably going to, well, they said that they were going to demolish the church at the last episode from the previous season, but when I heard that, I was like, why would you demolish a perfectly good building? I would have just changed the interior, so I figured that there's something fishy going on about that.
In the same scene, we also find out that Bob Whitmore is running for governor, which is why he wants to build a cathedral with a diverse congregation. In the next scene, Aaron comes to talk to Gigi and AJ, and he shows them a newspaper clipping showing and it shows the guy who Grace saw at the ending of season 4. Surprisingly, I mean, surprisingly for Grace and AJ, especially Grace who saw him, of course, he is the same guy she saw, and he gets gunned down, and basically they believe he was the one robbing the stores, and all charges get dropped towards AJ. I found that interesting, that storyline very interesting. Since season 4, people have been deliberating whether or not AJ is actually Gigi's son, and after seeing that scene, I am now convinced that he is not, in fact, her son. But the question still remains, who was that guy? Who is he? Is he the real AJ, or is he just a random person who happened to look like AJ? Because if we think about the finals, the scene last season, it seemed as though it symbolized that the real AJ was an imposter, because when she first sees the guy, he looks a lot like AJ. She even called him AJ when she saw him from afar, and then as he came closer and closer, she realized that it was not in fact AJ. So is this some kind of symbolism that is basically insinuating that all along AJ has been an imposter? My theory has always been that AJ either killed Grace's real son or perhaps just stole his identity and came there pretending to be him in order to get money and use her guilt against her essentially to receive a lot of support that he didn't have in the past. What do you think?
I agree with some of your predictions and thoughts. I From the episode I realized that I know that even though AJ knew that he did it, and he seemed relieved but also still guilty. And I can understand feeling guilty because you know you did it and then you just like got a way out. But it seems like he's hiding something and he's really guilty about it. And like you can see it in his action, his movements, everything. And I think maybe in episode 2 we will figure out exactly what it is he's hiding and what he's feeling guilty about. Because I don't think they could stretch that for too long. If you don't find out in episode 2, I think surely episode 3.
I agree about AJ seeming guilty all the time. I mean, since he came there, he has always seemed as though he's being hunted, like by something he has done in the past, which makes me believe it's something he did. Whether it is to Grace's real son or somebody else, something he has done in the past makes him feel extremely
Or
guilty.
maybe he's not her son and the guilt is getting to him because he's seeing that Grace is really trying to protect him. And the guilt is getting to him because it seemed like at the beginning of um of when he met up with Grace, it seemed like he just wanted her to like give him money. I think he didn't really expect her to really stick around and and but Grace stuck by him. I mean, even though with the whole situation with him um being accused of stealing those prescription drugs in the pharmacy, I mean, she stood by him even though Lady May was like, he did it, but she stood by him and she supported him, and I think he probably never had that support before. That someone that really looked out for him, and the guilt is getting to him. So maybe he's not her son. I don't know. Maybe it's, as you said, it's something else.
And the final thing I have to say about the topic between AJ and Grace is that in the last season, Rochelle insinuated that Grace did something terrible in Phoenix. What could that be? Because giving up a child alone, I mean, I understand that she may feel some type of way about giving up a child, considering that she was in the foster care system herself. But Rochelle, it's when Rochelle said what she did in Phoenix, or something she did in Phoenix, it seemed as though it was something way worse. And I actually have a prediction concerning that. I think that not only is that AJ not Gigi's son, but I also think Grace is still not being completely honest about who the father of AJ actually is. I do not believe it's Noah, and I believe that is why she left. My prediction is that I heard some people saying that AJ's father may be Mac, but probably it's someone else. Probably it isn't Max, but it's definitely, I don't think it's Noah's. And I think there's a reason why she hasn't done a paternity test as yet. Neither her nor Noah has done a paternity test as yet. And I think the reason for that is in this and episode 2, it will be revealed through DNA tests that it is not Gigi's son. Or maybe he is Gigi's son, but not Noah's. That's just something to think about. The next topic we'll talk about is Jacob and Clarissa. We see that the aftermath of last season on Jacob and Clarissa's relationship. Jacob has asked for a divorce, as we know, and Clarissa is trying to blackmail him with the information she got from Fernando, stating that his parents does not in fact own the estate, but has allegedly stolen it or probably killed the previous owner of the estate. Jacob is extremely annoyed with Clarissa, understandably, considering the fact that she gave him an STD. She, however, and I actually really love this part, when he did not let her get the satisfaction she wanted. She wanted to see him angry and fighting her over money. But instead he said, let's just split everything up and stop wasting our time, especially my time and my money. I mean, that was very satisfying. What do you think about Jacob and Carissa's relationship?
I totally agree with you there. I think that Carissa and Jacob, their relationship was always toxic to me. I think that the only reason why Carissa stuck around with Jacob is because of his family's money. Because Jacob has in the past has been constantly cheating on Carissa, and I think Carissa's love for money is the reason why she even went with Fernando, because um, her love for money, and I think she would do anything for money. And I think Jacob, I know that was like the last straw for Jacob, because from last season we saw that Jacob was really trying to change, and he was really trying to be a better husband, a better father to his children. And I think that when he found out what Clarissa did and the fact that she gave him an STD, I think for him that was like he couldn't do it anymore, and he realized that it's better that they separate and live separate lives.
What do you think it's in storage the storage locker? What do you think he would what do you think is going on with this will? Do you really think they own the land, or do you really believe that either Mac or Bishop killed the lady for the land?
Well, before we go to the storage locker, I think we should explain that Jacob went to see his former mistress, Alexa, and when he went there, apparently Alexa has a daughter, and it could be Jacob's daughter, but Alexa denied it. But I believe it's his child. And she told them about a storage locker that Mac had, and Jacob decided to go to the storage locker. But I don't know what he saw inside, because the day
No,
I
they
don't.
didn't reveal what he saw.
All right, so like, well, see episode 2, we'll find out exactly what is inside that storage
Well,
locker.
I definitely agree with you that the child is Jacob, so not only because the child is clearly biracial, but because of the dates. The child is about 2 years old. And then we need to add 9 months for the pregnancy. So about 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago, the child was conceived. The last time she saw Jacob was in season one. And of course, Sophia and Grace came into season one. Sophia is now entering college, which means she was probably around 15 when she came there. So I think the dates match up concerning that. And Jacob also, deep down, I think a man knows, usually deep down, if a child is his own, deep down. So we'll see. The next topic I'd like to discuss is Charity and Phil.
Charity. Honestly speaking, I just hope that Charity redeems herself this season, because she has really, really, really overdone it. Like, I understand that she wants people to notice her, and she wants recognition so badly that I don't and her trouble with men. Her father warned her about Philip, and yet she still went along and betrayed her family. And I mean, and Philip, from the beginning, Philip was just he wanted what he wanted. He wanted to be senior pastor, and he used Charity, and Charity was just like easy bait because she fell for it, and Charity has shown that she falls easily for men.
I think Phil clearly has a past of using people because um he obviously used his ex-wife to get to where he is right now, which is why she's so angry and she feels jilted that he's now with Charity.
And in a way, Philip is also being used because, he's just like a puppet on a string to them. And like he so wants to be in a high position that he says that he cares about Charity, but I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe he sort of has feelings for her, but you propose to her, and then as soon as you heard that you were gonna get, you just dumped her like that. So I don't. If you could change so quickly, I don't trust him at all.
I think you know what something that's interesting that I think we also need to discuss. Um, both Grace, Jacob, and as well as Charity has a lot of issues, and that could be because of the way they were raised. You know, something we don't really know much about their lives before Grace returned. We don't know how they grew up. We don't. Well, of course, we know about Mac, but besides that, we don't really know much about the way they grew up. And I think the way they grew up has a lot to do with the reason why Charity is the way she is. And one thing that I think, they say they will be having a spin-off. One thing I think I like to see is more about faith. We've heard a lot about faith, but in a way we haven't seen much about her and her story. So I think it'll be really interesting to see that. The next topic I would like to move on to is Sophia and her new boyfriend. Well, I should say love interest, because this episode we see that he still has feelings for his ex Nikki, or perhaps she has something over him, because I don't understand why all of a sudden he's back with Nikki.
He said he's trying to work things out with her. So even though he said that he wanted nothing to do with her, but I maybe she has something on him, or maybe he just can't get enough of her.
Yeah, and I think Sophia did the right thing by leaving. That's all I have to say about that for now. But we'll see how it evolves. The next topic is Bishop and me. Bishop and me, their relationship is really the most tested relationship on the show, next to Clarissa and Jacob, of course. I mean, at this point, they might as well just stay married because they've really been through everything. So we find out that they want to renew their vows, so they called everybody, including Charity, surprisingly, to come
And be a
celebrate, be a part of their special day together. In the ending, we see that AJ isn't there.
Yes, and Gigi asks Sophia where's her brother, and Sophia said that she didn't see him. So Gigi decided to go up to look for AJ, and upon going up to his room, she realized that he wasn't in his room, and she decided to knock on the bathroom door. And when she realized she wasn't hearing anything, she kicked the door open and found AJ lying on the floor, bleeding out.
A lot of people were surprised by that, but I mean, at first I thought my first inkling was that he ran away like he always does. But the fact that he actually tried to kill himself further supports my theory that he did something really bad that is haunting him. I don't think he just did it because he's a drug addict and he just doesn't see a way out of the of of the situation, because he was clearly given a way out. So I think it more has to do with his guilt about something he did or is doing presently. But we'll see. But the person I feel sorry for the most in this situation, apart from Grace, of course, is Sophia. Like, we don't know how this will affect her. But of course, she has been tested and tested again, just like Grace. I mean, since they came there, it has been
One thing after the other.
trial after trial. So we'll see what happens. I believe he'll die. What do you think will happen?
I think that I don't think he would die, at least not yet, but I do believe that he will definitely need a blood transfusion. And I think when he when he has to get one, that it will show that he is not Grace's child. That's my theory. I think that's when they will reveal that he is not Grace's child. Well, or maybe he
I
might.
agree. I definitely agree. But wouldn't it be crazier if he revealed that he is in fact Grace's child, but not Noah's?
Well, I don't know how they will prove that. It's only, well, most likely Noah will probably show up after
Well,
hearing.
you know how sometimes, when you go for blood, one parent isn't a match and the other is? If Grace isn't a match and then they test Noah and he isn't a match either, then obviously the only conclusion they could come to is neither are his parents. Or if they continue with the DNA test, then they'll determine that Grace is his parent, just not a match for the blood transfusion. But
Mhm.
AJ is not a match to Noah, meaning he's not his father. I think they could go either way. But if they do reveal that AJ is not her son, then they'll have a lot more storyline, and I don't think that this season is necessarily long enough to explore all of that, considering all the other storylines they have.
That's true. Well, I guess you can only wait and see what happens.
Okay, this was a great episode, and we look forward to seeing the other episode and recapping it with you guys. Please comment, subscribe, and like this video. If you want to see more videos like these, please hit the thumbs up. And don't hesitate to let us know any other shows you would like us to review. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Bye.